Welcome to the Strong, Single and Human podcast, a real look at single parenting, the ups and downs, and how to navigate life with kids on your own while keeping sane. Covering subjects such as domestic violence through to fussy eaters and solo dating. I'm your host, Claire Martin. Welcome. Hi, everyone. This week I have Heather with me. Heather's been a single mum since 2012 and previously working in the dental industry in a business management and development role. However, the universe had different plans for her, and she is now becoming a reiki healer and is currently starting a double diploma in business, as well as starting her first wellness and healing business. Hi, Heather. Welcome. Thank you for joining us.
Hi. Thanks for having me. Appreciate being here.
No, it's great. It's always good to talk to you. So, wow, single mum for the last 9 years. Tell us about your journey. Like, how have you got to double diploma and starting your own business?
Oh, look, it was obviously a very lengthy journey. There's a lot of self-discovery, self-growth. A lot of healing had to be done, which is, I will say, was very hard. And there's a lot of people out there that can resonate with that because in the beginning, you're like, where do I start? Who am I? Why is this happening? We're always asking why, what, what, doing those sorts of things. So look, just like any other person, unfortunately, we can outgrow people. So it didn't eventuate to a long-lasting marriage, which was fine. So look, from that day, obviously, like I said, there's been a lot of healing. I then started to step into my discovering who I was again, or who I thought I was, I should say, in those first 2 years. So I was obviously working for corporations, helping them, and then also setting up some practices throughout areas in Australia, I'll say, to help develop for brand new dentists that came through, or practices that were needed extra development in areas, whether it was staff or financial, rada. Anyway, went through all that. And look, even though when you just touched on the universe had different plans for me, is it wasn't until all of that happened that I reflected back and went, this all makes sense now. Is every job I was at, there was some conflict, and I had to sit there and go, is it me? What am I doing wrong? You know, why are they treating me like that? Okay, maybe I'll just suck up to them so they don't get stressed. You know, people were claiming my work as their own. I had managers claiming documentation that they asked me to do that they didn't pass on to the higher CEOs or whomever, that this was my work. Not that I need a pat on the back, but the fact is that's lying. That's fraudulent.
You were being overlooked, though, weren't
Absolutely.
you? You were being overlooked, and so and the universe basically was sort of saying, "Hey,
look, and you know what?
This keeps happening. You know, maybe you need a different avenue." It
was, and you know, because I was in a different mind frame back then, and because we get tunnel vision and we're so focused on what is in front of us, we don't open that tunnel like as if it's like blinds, and you pull back and you get a full 180 view, a full perspective of what is actually out there. It wasn't till I was sitting at the last practice I was working at, and I started to get these feelings of like, here we go again. I'm stuck here. I'm not moving forward. I've tried to help practice development managers in the corporate practice. But, you know, unfortunately, when someone doesn't have the extent of knowledge, especially in that industry, it does become a bit complicated to explain how things can work in this industry to help them. It wasn't a negative thing at all. It was to help them, and I always delivered it in a professional manner, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, when we got to this point, it wasn't until it was in 2018 and it was about October. Was it September, October? And everything started shifting, and I just went, what the hell is going on? in my life. I had no idea about spirituality, growth. No, I didn't have the support network. I didn't have positive impacts in my life, whether it was family, friends, whoever. And needless to say now, all of them are non-existent besides my family. But it wasn't.
Were you doing the Reiki stuff?
No, it wasn't actually until that time in 2018 I started feeling, okay, what's going on? So I always felt there was something bigger out there in the world, but it was sort of like I was behind a closed door. I had to get through that door to find out what it was. Otherwise, I was going to go insane because I needed to know this bloody answer. That's what it got to a point when I need some help. I need some guidance. And then I found a spiritual advisor and a Reiki healer not far from me. And I went, okay. And I looked into it. All I did was I went in and had a chat to her. She picked up on what was going on in my life by, spirituality. You get, as your abilities come through, you just have different abilities. I won't go too much into that, otherwise we'll be here for 3 hours.
That's okay.
So it came to the point when I spoke to her, she sat down with me free of charge for 10 minutes, and I was chatting to her about what was going on in life. I had to speak to someone. It was just like all this stuff started pouring out because I felt comfortable with her. Anyway, she's like, right, let's book you in for a Reiki healing. And I'm like, what the heck is Reiki? And then I was like, okay, I just need some guidance. What's going on? Anyway, I went into this session, and it was, all I would say is when people go and do Reiki, you have to be willing to seek the answers, be in that embodiment to go, okay, I'm here to help me. I need to be open-minded. You have to quieten your mind. You can't be in a stressed position when you go to do Reiki because it's balancing all your chakras and it's controlling everything. It's putting power through you so we can remove these blockages so you can become aligned to move further on to your next step in your journey. Anyway, it was amazing. And I didn't realize how much pent-up stuff I had from, since the day that I was little. And this girl, because I resonated with her, as soon as she because with us Reiki healers, obviously we have to touch certain parts of the body, obviously nothing inappropriate at all. Yeah. The only way we can get it through the body. And as soon as she put her hands on my shoulders, I felt, you're safe, you're secure. It was sort of like, I've got your back, it's okay, sort of scenario. And
so like a secure hug as such.
Yes. And I bawled my bloody eyes out.
Wow.
And I went, what the hell is all this? And that is all I didn't realize till after going through that. And I sat back and reflected and went, isn't it amazing how we don't recognize things, but as soon as it takes one person who you resonate and really connect with, and it's just a simple hand touch on the shoulder of reassurance and sympathy and going, it's okay, I'm here for you and I'm not leaving. And that was and still to this day, she is my go-to person. I will not go with another person because that's who I'm strongly connected with. Yeah. And as she's growing through her spiritual journey and sharing her knowledge, we're all growing as well. So anyway, 2018, huge turning point.
Oh my gosh.
And it was amazing. And it was like after I had this experience, because it's the energy that goes through, it literally even felt like, I still remember there was one pivotal point in it where I felt like I was floating and she had to hold me down on the table to stop me from flying away. That's how I felt. Because and you get visualizations and things like that, and it's amazing. It's an amazing experience. But like I say, you go to someone who you really resonate with. Just don't do it willy-nilly, or if you're in a state of panic or whatever. That's more so going to your tarot readers so they can get further clarification, then step into getting your internal healing so you have some form of understanding where you need to go. So with 2018, everything, as soon as I had my chakras aligned, holy shit, the whole thing, like I saw things so differently. I shit you not, Claire.
Oh,
I
really?
literally went home and I was in such a state of relaxation. No one could bust my bubble. No one could say anything to me that could affect me mentally or physically. Absolutely
Wow.
not. And I was
Yeah.
so relaxed and calm. Everything started making sense. I was seeing things in a new light. I was seeing colors more brightly, and everything. It was just amazing. But anyway, when I went through that transition period, when then it rolled over to 2019, that is when everything started going, what the heck am I doing?
Yeah.
After going through that enlightenment period, just a Reiki healing absolutely opened so many bloody doors.
Yeah, like taking the shades off as such,
shit.
and
Yeah.
like going, hey, what have you been doing the last 6 years?
Yeah, and that's the thing. But the thing is, we have to go through that journey to get to that discovery.
Yeah.
And that is one thing that I had to come to terms with, because I was doing the same thing, going, why the, F was wasting all my time. You were a bitch, you were this, you were that. But by me saying you were a bitch or this or whatever, it was that yet again a healing period as well for me to forgive and let go of those people, so I can move forward, because I'm a different person now than what I was 5-6 years ago.
And I think that's key, like what you said about forgiving and releasing and letting go. And so, and you have to work through that. It's not something that you can just go, oh, I forgive and forget. It's a process, everything.
It's not as simple when people say, oh, just let it go, Yeah, that's good for you to say that. Have you been in that situation?
Yeah.
Have you physically experienced the emotional turmoil it has on someone, or an impact? No. Okay, you go on your path. You sit in that level of frequency for a moment. I send you love and light, and hopefully one day you will realize what you have said to me, that you will now understand. That is how I see things now too. And look, it got to that point. I was sitting at the reception desk. I'll get back on point now.
Yeah, no, you're okay.
There was that point that I was sitting at the reception desk, and I didn't really care anymore. That is what it was. It was like, I just don't care anymore.
Yeah.
I've been doing this. The same shit keeps happening. I just feel stagnant in here. And I knew that I wanted more in life. And then I started speaking to the business development manager, and I said, look, sitting behind a reception desk is no longer what I need, because they knew I had more extensive experience.
Yeah.
Anyway, and she said, yep, this is coming up, blah, 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 blah. Anyway, came to a crunch time day, and this is what was a huge point for me, and a learning curve, is I put so much trust in people and faith, and going, okay, you're capable of doing your job, cool. You have my back, I have yours. We're not here to fight or be school girls or whatever.
Well, we're adults. We're in a working environment. We're not in a school playground.
And
but
you know what?
No.
And look, and especially a corporation.
Yeah.
And anyway, she rocked up one day, I remember, with the HR manager, and then all of a sudden, as soon as she walked through the door, her whole body language was different. Her eye contact was different. There was improvements I made in the practice, and she walked in, and I remember her turning around to this HR person and saying, oh, I told Heather to do that. Oh, I made that suggestion. Oh, I did this and I did that. And I sat there and went, I'm not allowed to speak up, because I'm just working in a practice. I'm not in the office to defend myself.
Yeah.
And I thought, I don't want to lose my job, because we need an income. Meaning me and my son.
Yeah, exactly.
And anyway, I went, okay, that's cool, because Claire, that whole shit happened at every blade practice. I was walked over.
Yeah.
People claimed things that were mine, that I really hope to this day now that something has happened in their life to make them sit and reflect and remember the people that they may have done these things too.
Which is interesting you say that, though, because this is where the universe is sort of like keeps nudging you every time. Hey, you need to be doing something different. And you get nudge.
Yep. But
now you're at a point 2-3 years down the line where you go, oh, look, I hope they can sit back and reflect, and they can actually see, at what pain and so you're sort of gone, I've released that. I'm not going to be bitter and twisted about, what they did. I'm just going to go sit back, reflect and learn about it, but it's not going to affect me.
Yep. And the thing is, it's such a long process, though, to get to this point.
I can imagine. Yeah.
You know what? You have to put in the work. That's the thing. It's like someone listening to this to go, well, how the hell do you get there? All I can say is you need to, what I say to my, I won't say clients, but people who seek guidance from me, we call it in the spiritual community stepping in your power and holding your power, which in this reality is more so finding yourself, sticking true to yourself, and don't wear a mask. And it doesn't matter who says anything to you, you have that understanding. They're on a different journey to you.
Yeah. Unless you're obviously in a COVID environment where you need to then wear a mask.
Look, yes, no pun intended. That's
but
fine.
yes, no. But no, I know what you're saying. Yeah. Don't actually hide behind something that you're not, basically.
Correct. Don't be unapologetically yourself.
Yeah.
There are going to be, you don't have to be a people pleaser. You can speak your mind, and you will eventually find like-minded people. It's not like to gather a rally and say, yeah, we're all on the same side. You've got no idea. It's not that. Us on this side that have rallied together in a community that we are so strong with, we understand what the other people are going through at this present moment in May, in which I just said to you what May is all about, with this huge energy shift that's happening in the universe at the moment. Some people might think I'm crazy. That's fine. That's okay. Because
they think I'm crazy.
That's all right, because there's going to be a time that they're going to sit there and go, I've got no idea what's going on. Why is all this shit happening? Why are these people coming into my life? Why am I feeling this way? Hello, we can explain it to you, but you need to be open to it. But we can't, but with us, if we can't help you or guide you, or you're going to resist, it's the resistance, we can't help you. And that's something even in normal life. If you resist to things, you're not going to learn, and you're going to be stagnant, whether it's in a business, at work, personal relationships, or anything. If you're just going to, absolutely.
But you're exactly right, though, because the thing is, like, if we look at the last 18 months, right, really, if you're resisting, like, COVID hit, and like none of us had any control over it. However, if you were resisting the fact that the environment and the government rules and all of that stuff was changing, and you resisted that, and you had a business, and you didn't adapt, and you didn't actually morph your business to be able to continue throughout COVID, well, you're no longer in business, or it's, had a major impact on where you want to be and what you want to do. And he's exactly right. It's in all walks of life.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And look, COVID, it's unfortunate it happened, but everyone I have spoken to, it's always been positive. Look, it's unfortunate we lost lives. Yes.
I agree. That's the unfortunate thing about it.
But look, there is so many people out there across the globe, because I'm a part of a lot of pages on Facebook where everyone has shared this experience. There has been a lot of people that in lockdown that we've had to actually sit, and the universe has gone, right, you sit there, you plonk your ass there, and you're going to have to sit and think about things and reflect. And that is what everyone, whether someone wants to admit it or not, it has actually happened. Because there are so many people that have upped and left, moved interstate, changed jobs, started studying, going into entry-level jobs, starting businesses. And I do think over the next couple of years, with what has happened, Australians, obviously, we will all gather together and start having our own, keeping businesses within Australia and not trying to seek out resources elsewhere. And become a tighter knit sort of community. I do hope that does happen. But obviously, having a startup business like we were talking about previously to this, learning so much more through that is there's been a lot of controversy and political parts on what people want, what people don't want. And there's still a lot of bitter people out there. But hey,
No, and look, I think it's been Yeah, and
So,
look, I agree with you. I think, look, for me personally, COVID was good because I became closer to my parents, closer to my son, because we weren't distracted by the traveling into work and rushing around trying to get everything done in the minimum timeframes that we have. We had time to take the children to the park, mainly because we were locked down and we were going crazy in our houses. But, but it sort of enabled us to slow down to a certain extent. We weren't rushing and doing that 45-minute, hour journey, half an hour journey or whatever, listening to podcasts and trying to work on emails while we're on the train and stuff like that and cram everything into our day. We were able to drag our sorry bottoms out of bed and grab a coffee, take the kids to school, which was great, and then sit down and start to work if you had the opportunity to work from home. And some people who were in jobs that they were doing that basically weren't able to do those jobs have actually stepped back and gone, well, actually, I don't want to go back to that job.
Correct.
And have moved off on to other things, which is brilliant.
And I will not touch base, but I will say straight up, like I haven't worked for anyone since 2019. Now, for people listening, I don't want them to think, I want to give them clarification. I wasn't on the dole. I wasn't always on Job Seeker. Because of previous past experiences, I always put money away because at that time I did not know what was going to happen next. But because I've gone through and I am where I am today, I have very strong spiritual abilities and a lot of intuition. And look, don't get me wrong, we still all question things and go, oh, should I, shouldn't I? You sort of sit in the middle and you're like, oh, what do I do? But look, and then COVID hit. Yeah. Because I was supposed to have I was doing contract work at that time, and I loved contract work because I was at that point after my previous experiences, like I was saying, in the dental industry, that I didn't want to commit to a long-term job. I didn't know what I wanted to do. I just wanted to meet new people, see where it went, see where I could utilize my skills, and let's just see what happened from there. I was supposed to have a contract that lasted 3 months, but they gave me all the work and I completed it in 4 weeks. So, body uncle, I had to leave, which is fine. I'm like, no, shit, Christmas or New Year, February, okay. Yeah. And then all of a sudden, hey, COVID, end of February, March. Oh, well, I'm stuffed, whatever. Let's just roll with it. Yeah. Anyway, look, I will say COVID was a very pivotal point in my life, and I'm sure other people's. I will have to say that it was one of the best years of my life. Yeah, which is crazy, which is, it opened so much to me. I had time. And like you were saying before, there was no commute, nothing like that. It was like the COVID was, the year, let's say the year, not the day, but the year the earth stood still. It had to stand still because it was getting out of control, immensely out of control. And a lot of people had sat and reflected because we had that time to do it. And we were lucky enough not to contract the virus or pass away. So we've been given an opportunity to utilize that time to better ourselves and really reprogram our brains and ourselves to move forward into a new life for 2021. So look, I'm very grateful for that because emotionally healing, everything, I got to release so much stuff, and it was amazing. It's absolutely amazing. So I completely agree with you. I think it shook humanity up to a certain extent and brought out the best, but also the worst in people. And I think we all turned around and said, well, no, that's not acceptable, or it started to make us question things, whereas we were all moving too quickly to even step back and think about things. We were just surviving and not really doing a very good job of surviving either, really. And look, just touching on that, when people get into that perspective of it's living, I've just got to get to work, I've just got to make money, I've just got to go home, I've just got to do this and that. Yeah, but the thing is, there is so much more to life. The life purpose for people is love.
Yeah.
You think it's such a powerful word.
Yeah.
And the thing is, if you just sit about that, and if everyone was kind or showed love, it's like a chain reaction. It's love towards, it doesn't have to be in love with people.
No.
And I'm not talking about lust, none of that. It's love and consideration to another human being.
Yeah, respecting other people.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
also I agree with you. Like, at the end of the day, we only see a certain layer. We don't see what's going on behind closed doors or in a person's head or whatever. We don't know what they've been dealing with. So it's actually about taking a breath and going, okay, that person shouted at me in a shopping queue or whatever. That's fine. They may have stuff that's going on in their lives that we don't know about. So let's just take a step back and actually take it for, it's their opinion, it's their view of me or whatever, and it's that 5-minute snippet. That's fine. Yep. Let's have compassion for them. They may be going through something that they can't deal with. Yeah, no, I agree with you. So hey,
yes.
How did you went to this Reiki healer, which is awesome. And it sounds like I've never been to a Reiki healer, but it sounds like I might be going now because it sounds awesome. But how did you then become one and then go on to this double diploma in business, which is insane, and starting your own business? I mean, that's a hell of a jump from working in the corporate environment, contracting to I'm going to do this. And
so what happened was COVID. And the thing is, like, because since 2018, obviously things were opening up. There was more opportunities. I was discovering new things, sticking to my grounds and becoming who I truly was, and had to step back and go, physically, don't worry about that at the moment. We need to fix internally. And I was listening to mindset podcasts. I loved Tony Robbins. I went on a spiritual journey, and I started discovering 2 brilliant people on YouTube, influencers. I don't know whether I'm allowed to say them, but one is Victor Otto. Victor Otto.
Go for it.
Okay. And the other one is Aaron Doherty. Now, Aaron was one of the first ones I went to, and because I was just like, I need just some sort of new thing. Is there something I don't know? Let's discover it. All I said, people, just keep learning. Just search stuff, because there might be one little snippet you go, oh shit, let's look into that because that sounds interesting. And look, he started with law of attraction, manifestation, energy, all these things. So it really opened up a whole nother level for me. And look, I followed Aaron from 2019. So really there's been a huge transformation in those last couple of years for myself. So it like I said to you, it's a long journey, but there's a lot of work that you have to do internally. But it starts with admitting to yourself that you need to change, is the first step. And even though it's a hard pill to swallow, because due to ego or what people may think, you have to let that section go as well. So it comes down to, you have to, if you can admit to yourself, look, you really need to work on your mental health, like not mentally, but like you're insane. But look, you need to heal your mind. You need to heal your body. And when those 2 things come in conjunction and in alignment with each other opportunities and the next stage opens up for you, because the universe ain't going to slingshot you into something you're not capable of doing. There's always delays. Or if you've taken another route or gone down another path, and it's not the right one for you, the universe won't completely stop you. It'll be like, hey, you need to learn this lesson, even if it goes for 3 months and goes, did you learn that? Now you need to start listening to me, sort of thing. So to get to that point to where I am now, like I said, it was all healing. It was dead set spending time with myself. I went into meditation. I started, I only started meditation on YouTube, because there's so many resources on there, guided meditations. I did my first Reiki healing. Actually, it was years prior to, only through YouTube. I did a guided meditation Reiki healing thing. I didn't quite understand it all, but that didn't really work for me. So like I said, and there's always shadow work, because shadow work, is when...
What's shadow work?
So shadow work is when we think we have let go of things and emotions and things that have happened to us previously, and we sort of suppress it, and it's like there's been a lid put on it. But the thing is, what we don't realize is, even though we think, oh yeah, I'm good, whatever, it is what it is. No, that lid comes off, and literally it's like a black piece of smoke that comes up with all the emotions, all the turmoil, all the heartbreak, all the tears, all the different emotions that have caused you pain in the past. They get brought up to the surface, whether you like it or not. As much as you're like, oh, just F off, like I don't want to think about it. It was more,
I don't want to deal with it.
That's
but
right.
It sort of comes up and says, no, you need to deal with me. You need to deal with me.
Yeah. It comes up. And the thing is, it doesn't always just, it comes up, but the thing is, you'll see it through people. Like even at a school drop-off, you'll see it through a reaction of another person. And you're like, what the hell? Why are you treating me like that? And you're like, hang on a tick. That person reacted the exact same way the person in the past used to do that to me. Okay, I haven't let go of something. I haven't done it. But that's when you've got to sort of sit back, and you have to give that time to yourself and go, okay, what do I do now? All right, that's come through. What we say to people, and it takes some time, is when that emotion comes up, you acknowledge the emotion. You say, okay, you're there. I'm not going to get angry about it. Okay, cool, you're there. How do I feel? I'm pissed off. I'm angry that you did that to me. Okay, cool. It's like you're having your own therapy session in your brain. Yeah. And you're like, okay, cool. We've got to that discovery. Now, do you want to hold on to it, or do you want to go, okay, that's cool. I now understand that you're at a different level. You're on a different journey. Every human being has a different mindset and reacts different to things. All right. See you later. Let's go. And I actually visualize letting go of that, and it goes into the universe or out in space, whatever. But there's times that I will have visualize an exit door, a door with an exit sign on the top, and it's wide open. And I go, okay. And it's like all those emotions that I've gone, all right, I'm letting go. It's in a ball of light, and out you go to the door, and I close the door.
Yeah. Because we have a choice, don't we? At the end of the day, we have a choice as to how we deal with. It's our choice as to whether we're hurt, offended, or whatever, however somebody else has reacted to me. And I know I'm trying to teach my son at the moment that one person may have a reaction to him, and he might feel upset or hurt by that. But I'm sort of trying to tell him, well, that's one person's opinion of you. But you don't need to accept that opinion because they don't know you. So it's you have a choice as to whether that hurts you or not, and whether you can actually say, okay, well, thank you for that. Thanks for the feedback. I'll take that on board. If I have a lesson to learn from it, then great. If I don't, it could be that you have a lesson to learn from it, and that it's your issue to hold and move forward with. I mean, and God, like trying to explain it to a 5-year-old is like fun. Let me put it that way, because it's difficult. It's bad enough when you're our age trying to deal with that and accept it and move forward. So it's trying to put it in speak that he actually understands, so that he doesn't actually take everything on board. And then, because I can remember being a child and having things impact me and just taking it all on board, because as a child you think, oh, it's me. It must be something about me, and it's not. And until you actually understand and go, it's not about you. It's, it's about learning from it and accepting that it might be their issue and moving forward.
Correct.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, is that's all it takes, is a simple thing to go, okay, that person, like you said, that person's got a lesson to learn. That's fine. But all it takes is, like, if you reacted to me, I'd be like, okay, cool. That's fine. Like you said, I don't know what's going on in your life. But look, wish you all the best.
Yeah.
I'll move forward. And look, I will say there has been people in the past, over the last couple of years, that have reached back out to me after going through my spiritual journey. And look, I'm still going through it now. And it's amazing because when those little things happen, that's when you start becoming a lot stronger in yourself. You're going, it's so true. You know, everything that's supposed to come your way does.
Yeah.
It shows up. And when you can realize that is when everything starts making sense to you.
And look, you talking to you now, you sound sane, happy, content, everything's moving forward. You're so positive about everything. But just to reiterate this to people listening, right? No, definitely. But like, just to reiterate, you've been a single mum for 9 years. It hasn't been perfect and easy sailing. It's been a roller coaster. No. And you've had dark, black days, like where you've gone, oh my God, how do I get it? Like I think we all have. And it's like you say, it's a journey, and it's working on yourself and moving forward. And maybe they're small baby steps. Maybe it's small baby steps. Absolutely. And maybe it's Googling and YouTubing a lot of stuff, but just accepting that it's about moving forward, not looking backwards, you know, because you just sound so sad. Like a lot of people I talk to, you sound so sane, you sound happy, content, everything's great. But I just don't want people listening to this to think, oh, well, that's okay, I'm different.
Yeah, and that's what I was trying to touch on before. If people are thinking that, that is okay to think that. And this is what I even teach my son now, okay? Because society says and schools implement, no, you have to act a certain way. No, you have to be like this in a board meeting. No, you can't speak your truth or anything like that. Everyone, how do I put this? I've just lost my train of thought. Sorry, I get downloads from the other realm. I know it's weird because it's just like, and I'm
funny.
Like, stop, I need to concentrate.
Can you tell them to bugger off and leave you alone for bloody half an hour?
No, that's okay.
That's all right. Don't worry. I can cut it. It's fine.
Right. What was the question? Because they distracted me.
No. So it was just saying that people listening to this, it was just to say, like, people listening to this, you sound happy and sane at the moment, but you've had some dark, it's been a roller coaster. It's not been, you haven't like become a single mum 9 years ago and everything's been plain sailing and, it's all been great. And you've got to this point and gone, hey, this is great.
Yeah, look, I'll touch on that, is the fact that when I used to be that person that would sit there and go, oh, yeah, that's nice for you to, have your life together. You got your shit together, or you must, it must be nice to have life served on you on a silver platter. I was in that place, and then when people talk about, oh, you must be, this or that, and, they automatically stereotypically put you in a box of, oh, you must have money handed to you, you must be this.
Yeah.
Why aren't you upset? Can I just call it out now? I was that kid. I was the baby of 5 siblings. My mum was a single mother of 5 of us. I never had brand new clothes when I was a kid. I always had hand-me-downs. We were the family that was eating cheese toaster sandwiches. We were the ones that were getting food from the Salvation Army, and we had no money. So don't say to me, or I don't want people to think that just because you've gone through turmoil, through child, adolescence, teenager, through your 20s, everything is a learning curve. As long as you can, I can sit and say this now, but a few years back I wouldn't have been able to say. I would have gone, you're an effing denial, but there's more to wealth than money. Wealth is about being choosing to be happy, but choosing to be happy doesn't mean that you suppress all your emotions. I always encourage people, if the emotions come up, it is okay to be angry. It is okay to blurt out profanities. It is okay to have all these different emotions. You do not have to set yourself aside because society or whoever, even a workplace, whatever, you've got instilled in you to say you have to act a certain way. I'm still yet to, and I've said this to people, you define normal for me. You define how life is supposed to be. You hand me that book and I'll read it.
Yeah.
But don't ever, like I said to you, do not compare. And I say to people, don't compare your life to someone else's. And I will say on a spiritual note too, when someone is highly successful and you're trying to manifest or want things to go right for yourself in your life, don't put the words out to say, or, and get that jealousy aspect and go, oh, well, good for you, you've got all this and all that. Because by doing that simple action, you're actually giving them all of your own power.
Okay.
And energy. So don't do that. Keep your energy and use it for you. You don't use your energy towards someone else.
So how do you control that energy though? So how do you stop yourself? So how do you stop yourself from being jealous or wanting what other people have got? Okay.
It comes down to training your brain and yourself to not do that. The brain is a very powerful thing. You've got a left brain and a right brain. Well, it's one brain, but you've got the left part and the right part. It's more so training yourself to stop that, straighten its tracks, to go and understand it. It comes down to that pivotal point. Every single person is different. I know that's such a cliche thing to say, but
they are.
Yeah, everyone's thoughts are different. Everyone's reactions are different. Everyone's bodies react differently to things. Everyone's at a different point in their life. Everyone is on their own journey and everyone's on their different path. No two humans alike will share the exact same journey, emotions, stories, and paths. So the fact of the matter is, if we can acknowledge, like we touched on before, Claire, we can acknowledge that that is their journey, this is mine. As long as you can stop your mind from doing that is the main thing. You've got to train yourself when you start feeling that emotion, because you feel it in the pit of your belly.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, you've got to stop it. It all comes down to you, but you have got to be willing to train yourself to stop that, because that is a form of a reaction and an additional emotion.
Yeah, yeah.
So to stop that energy is you have to train yourself and your brain to stop it in its tracks, because that person's not going to react or feel anything different because you've reacted that way. So you're wasting your own energy, your own thought process towards someone else.
Yeah.
So if you can stop it in the tracks, what I used to do, I'll use a personal experience. A few years back, friends were developing businesses and all this sort of thing. And I was at a point where I was like, I don't know what I want to do. I don't know what my life purpose is. I don't know what direction to go. I don't know what guidance. And then they'd have, we've started up this business, we've got this, we've got that. And it was that jealousy form that would pop up. But I realised I was only I'll use the word hurting. I was only hurting myself and stopping yet another hour or whatever of my life to move forward. And you actually use it. Yeah. Does that make sense?
Yeah. No, it does. And you were like, so in actually being jealous of somebody else, you're actually putting a blocker and a stop on your life.
Absolutely.
So you're not moving forward because you're actually focusing energy on their life.
Yes.
And not on your life and where you need to be. No, so I get you completely.
Yeah. And that's the same as like even out in the car, if you get road rage and you're like, oh, you're a bloody idiot. Don't you know how to use your indicator? It's 3 inches to your left bloody index finger. You know, don't waste it. Just
I change it so
yourself upset.
I agree with you. I had to drive into the office like yesterday, and I'm driving along the road going, oh my God, why are we driving at like 50 Ks when it should be, it's an 80 K an hour. But then I have to change it and I have to reframe it in my mind and go, well, hang on a minute. Yes. They're driving at 50 Ks because further down the road, if I was driving at 80 Ks, there might be a car that pulls out in front of me that then I smash into that car. And therefore, they're driving at 50 k's to help me not smash into the car that's going to be pulling in front of me at 80 k's or whatever it is in my head. I just go, and also they're in a car in front of me. They don't know what I'm going through. So I sort of sit there and go, they may be distracted and thinking about a presentation they've got to do at work, or they may be thinking, oh, I wonder if my kid's okay because my kid is at school and there's some issue going on or whatever. So it's actually going, well, hang on a minute. They're not driving at 50 k's because they just want to annoy you in the car behind them. They're actually driving at that speed because there are other things going on in their mind. So it's just framing it. It's reframing it.
Yeah, it's reprogramming your brain. Now, I don't know who the author, I'll say author, but there was a podcast, I believe it's a podcast or a book that has come out that I came across, and it's called Unfuck Your Brain.
Oh, okay, there we go. You said it.
So look, I haven't gone into it, but I'm pretty sure that it will touch on a lot of subjects that we have today.
Yeah.
And look, that person goes more into detail. That's their purpose, to train people in that aspect. Ours is different right now.
No, that's okay. I'll find out who wrote it, and I'll put the details and a link to it in the actual podcast blurb.
So it's just being diligent, that's all, of your mind, and being wary of your thoughts.
Yeah.
And don't think that you can't do it, because I have been in that exact spot. You can do it. And what I didn't do was seek out guidance when I was in that pivotal point. I thought, no, I'll do it myself. I don't want to be a burden on anyone. And the hardest thing too is asking for help.
Yeah.
Because we just think, no, you just suck it up, princess. You have to work this shit out yourself. It's not the case.
Yeah.
If you can open your eyes up and go, there's so much more support networks out there now than what there was 10 years ago. Utilize them. Absolutely.
Oh, I completely agree. I agree. Completely agree. There's so much out there. We just got to, we've got the internet, for crikey's sake, which we didn't have like 15 years ago or whatever. So I agree. So look,
sorry.
Wait, no. This is all interesting stuff. No, this is all awesome. So what's next for you then? So,
okay. So now I've gone through all that. Yeah. So look, through COVID, I upped and left my location where I was, because I had to get out where I was. I was grateful that it was a pit stop for me, because I had to be in that pit stop to get to where I am now. So look, I've upped and moved to a beautiful location near the beach, which I'm very grateful to have done that.
Yeah.
And I want to shout out to people that they think, oh, that's okay, you can move to a beach or a unit, whatever. I didn't have a whole lot of savings when it came to the point of COVID hitting. I budgeted my money so much, and I did so much research on portion control, on making things from scratch. I really went back to like the early Basics. 1900s, 1950s, between that period of going, how did they survive on minimum wage and this and that? So I actually had to do that research to save the money to move to where I am now. And look, through that time process as well, it wasn't until I moved up here too, I went, okay, what do I really want to do? I knew this is a place I wanted to be, and where I want to be for the rest of my life. What was next? And I had to sit there and yet again go through another section of a journey and go, all right, I had to connect. What's my purpose? What do I love? What do I want to do? Can I make money out of it? Am I helping other people? That was the thing. Like, if I can help people, it's not always about the money aspect.
Yeah.
It was about helping people. That Definitely. Is what my main goal was. So I'm doing that double diploma in business admin, but also the diploma in business management and leadership. I only did that because I'm not going to use it in a corporation. Been there, done that, no thanks.
Yeah. No.
I am very much on keep learning new skills. And it was more so also learning to cut through that fear base and to push myself out of that comfort zone.
Yeah.
And I will say it is so hard, because you get that ball of nerves through your system. You're like, oh my gosh, I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know this, I don't know that. It's the fear of the unknown. Yeah. But I realized that when I cut through and really pushed yourself in that comfort zone, you got to be present in that moment. That is the only way you're going to get through it, is being present in that moment. So always learning new things, whether it's a documentary, looking things up. And I always think that, if you have the chance to study, you don't know where it's going to go. You don't know what doors it's going to open. And I think we touched on this earlier, where it's taking opportunities. If you think, it may work, it may not, stuff it. Just do it.
Yeah.
Just do it. And it's not like with uni or anything like that where you have to cough up $6,000 or whatever. I pay a minimum amount each week and I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
But that's in my budget. You've got to.
Yeah, you've got a budget for stuff
money,
like that.
Yeah. And I know people say money talks. Money is an exchange in life. I always thought it was a bit like a Monopoly game. That's how I sort of used to see life. It's like, yeah, cool, pass go, $200. That's your weekly pay. What are you going to do with it? Let's do this or that. So, look, the next step too, that I'm now, obviously, there's been a lot of people that have reached out to me to help them, because I do not so much tarot readings, but I sit with people who are going through situations in life. I'm a listener, obviously, and I do energy work with them. Not so much Reiki. I can do that. If I feel they need it, I will do it. But if I feel they need steps prior to getting them in complete alignment, which is their mental state, to understand and comprehend things, to be open-minded for it, that's where we go into, okay, this is what's going on at the moment. You can tackle it A, B, C, or D. Always have a backup plan with things. I always say, and if it doesn't work, just move forward.
Yeah.
And that is, I've helped a lot of people. The main thing is if you want to move forward in life, is you have to accept where you are right now, in the present moment. And you have that choice. If you say, I want these things in life, that's great. Don't go gung-ho at them. Do one thing at a time. And I always say to people, do not leap. If you want to leap, you can. It may work for some people, but I always say do little baby steps. Just put one foot in front of the other. I can't remember who sings that song, but it's that song that says one step at a time. There's no need to rush. You've got me.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was one that always came. Yeah, so I always say just do one step at a time.
Yeah.
Don't because I do look up research with the human brain and the psychological part of things, and the scientific facts. Don't overwhelm yourself. And the only way you don't overwhelm yourself is you go, okay, I've got four or five things on this piece of paper I want to achieve, or where I want to go. Just do that first step. Go, right, how do I get there? All right, cool. I've made that step. Move on to the next one. And look.
And it might be that some steps are quicker than others.
Absolutely.
I mean, some steps might take you a year. Other steps might take you like a week or a day or whatever, but it's about concentrating on your process and where you're going and not comparing you with anyone else. Like you said earlier, it's about not comparing yourself with anyone else. It's about your journey, your process. And I know it sounds a bit hippie when we keep saying journey. Yeah, I know. Because I'm the least hippie person ever in the world, but it's all good. But it is about, what road you're traveling on. That sounds even worse. But anyway, But
there's no difference to traveling in a car. So you're still going somewhere, aren't you? There's still a destination.
Where you're driving, where you're flying, whatever you're doing, it's all good. So look, if people it's been great talking to you, and I love talking to you. Like Heather, I love talking to you every time. It's great.
Oh, sorry, I went off topic again.
No,
because
you're all right.
I'll just quickly say to just in a nutshell what you were saying before, to where I got to today. On top of everything else, not only did I do double diploma, look, I don't know where it's going to take me, but I do know that there is an outcome at the end of it. You don't have to force things to happen. But at least you've got that skill and that knowledge. It's the knowledge, because with that, I can now implement it into my new business that I am going to be launching hopefully in the next 8 weeks. I'm just doing a few more resources. So look, I'm all about healing. And like we touched on the fact that it starts with inside yourself. My motto is internal healing. It starts with inside you. And look, I'm going to be releasing, I won't say like it's not prescription, or it's an elixir. We call like a medicinal side of herbal teas. I know herbal teas, you know, everyone's like, oh, another herbal tea. But behind my concept, look, is getting to looking after your body. You want longevity out of your body through health issues that we go through. And look, it's not a prevention. And it's not a cure. It's to help you through that journey to subside some symptoms. Now, everyone's going to be different. That's cool. But look, that's just the first step. It's a wellness tea. There's multiple teas. I'm releasing 23 to start with, but I'm going to be trying
to start with.
Yeah, to educate. Look, and I will be introducing. It's more so getting to the roots of getting back to basics in life. Is don't go, oh, the next slim pill, or the next fat burner, or it's this or that, or it's, you know, all these sorts of things. That's cool if you want to do that. I accept that. That's fine. That's your choice. This is my choice. And if you resonated with it, that's fine too. I'll be there for every single client, no matter what. But I want to teach people in healing by using the things that are I can't think of the word, provided for us here on earth, that even our ancestors and things
like a natural, and like, you know, and like
it's a natural approach.
Like, I mean, the thing is, like, and the thing is, there's so many things that we don't actually. So as I remember, and I can't think who it was who said it, but I remember somebody said the earth is everything put on the earth has been there to nourish and provide and help us and help us heal from diseases and various different things like that. And I think we're now starting to discover with marijuana and the various different compounds of that plant, and that quintessentially is what it is, although a lot of people smoke it recreationally. But there are, if I can get my teeth in, but there are things that basically have been discovered now within that plant, and we are opening up our views on various different medicinal things that actually help certain diseases and stuff like that. So look, I completely agree. You're just looking at it from a natural perspective, which is great. Which is awesome. So look, where do people get in contact with you regarding if they want to talk to you about Reiki healing, if they want to know a little bit more about what you're doing regarding your teas and the wellness and healing business that you're now setting up?
Look, so I have created an email. It has been there for quite some time. It is called healingwithin333@gmail.com. It doesn't matter. Reach out to me for anything, whether it's I do come from a business background. If you want to know how to control your emotions, how we train to do things, law of attraction. I know there's so much of law of attraction out there. But look, if you want to know anything at all, I am considering also doing, start introducing Zoom like we're doing.
That's great.
But I want to do it for people who are going through experiences and exchanging journeys or whatever with each other. But it's not just one person with one-on-one. It's going to be like a room full of 50 people going through something, because you never know what another person can teach you. So there's a lot of misconception and people not understanding things at the moment, or where to go or what to do. If you can collaborate as a tribe and people take something from that, awesome. They take that knowledge onto other people and so on. So just being there for people basically. So look, reach out if you want any guidance. I don't do full tarot readings. I'll only do I won't do them futuristic. It's for your situation at that time. a lot of energy healing and guidance in that aspect. That's all it is at the moment.
No, that's cool. That's awesome.
And look, my teas aren't going to be out for another 8 weeks, but look, please, if you want to get in touch, look, at the moment I'm getting scientific facts and ensuring that people have that backup information, because I don't want people to think, oh, it's just another slim tea or whatever. I'm not doing anything to do with weight loss.
No.
So that is completely not happening at all. And I would not put anyone in harm's way of any form of herbal.
No, you're just doing all of your research so you can make sure you can back up your facts and figures and things like that. No, that's great. That's okay, Heather. So look, hey, final question, and I ask this to everyone. If you had a superpower, what would it be?
Invisibility.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah. Could you imagine?
Yep.
Wow.
It doesn't matter I have to fly. No one's going to know if I'm on a plane, are they?
Well, no, that's true. Well, no, that's true. Wow, you could just sneak into loads of things.
And you know what? Having that invisibility power would also be to help someone else, because I could be invisible, sit in a situation where someone needs help or wants help but doesn't know how to do it, and I could just be a complete stranger on the street, and then all of a sudden appear and start a conversation. Yeah,
that's true.
Helping one person at a time.
Yeah, no, loving your work. Look, Heather, it's been a pleasure talking to you today. Look, thank you so much for spending the time and coming and speak to us.
I just hope I've touched all your subjects that you wanted to know. And
dude, it's all good. It's all good. It's fine. Yeah, no, it's great. It's always good to talk to you. Fantastic.
Yeah. No. Absolutely. Not a problem at all.
Have a great rest of your day, and we'll speak to you later.
Okay, no worries at all. Thanks so much, Claire. Bye. Okay, bye.
Hey, everyone. Thanks for listening. If you enjoyed this podcast and would like to hear more, please hit subscribe wherever you like to hear podcasts. If you'd like to support us further, share this episode with your friends and family on all the usual social media platforms that you're normally on. And finally, drop us a review on iTunes, as I'd love to hear your thoughts, comments, and ideas. It all helps me to understand and produce awesome content that I know you're going to want to hear, like this. If you want to check out past episodes, write to us, appear on the podcast, or for links, resources, and show notes, go to our website, www.strongsingleandhuman.com. We are also on all the usual social media platforms, Insta, Facey, and Twitter. Have a wonderful week, and I hope to see you back here again soon. Be kind to yourself, and remember, no one's perfect, and we're all just putting one foot in front of the other and doing our best. I'm Claire Martin, and you've been listening to the Strong, Single, and Human podcast.